So let's talk about tables in Word. I think that's as awkward for me as it is to talk about safety belts on motorbikes or helmets in cars. But, you know, let's do this anyway because I see a lot of tables in Word, so we better face this one pretty soon. So what I used to do is to just pretty much go to Excel and do there what I have to do there. So I'll just go to Excel, I'll go and copy a specific table that I've already done. How's that for duplicating my work? And then I'd come to Word and I'd paste it in Word, okay? What happens a lot of times, because Excel can obviously be much wider than just a page width, is that it does copy and paste across the side of the Word document. But now once it's in Word, I can obviously then go to design as well and change the design or the layout of this table. I can also just insert a table from scratch. So if I go to insert table, I can also choose how many columns and how many rows it must have. So once I've got that set up, I can then select this again and I can go to the design or the layout tab and say, I want it to look like this. Let's make it blue. And of course, while I'm in the table as well, if I go to layout, this is where I can actually insert rows. I can also merge some of them. So let me just change this layout again so you can see the lines nice and clearly. Let's use that one. So I can also merge some of the columns. So if I select the columns and I go to the layout, you'll see that there's merge cells, which then merges the columns. So that's one way of doing it. And then what's pretty neat as well, which I actually didn't know that Word could do, but if you have text that's separated by tabs, you can actually select the text as well and go back to insert table, and you can actually convert the text to a table. It's going to ask you how many columns, it's going to pick up how many rows it is, and what you use to separate it, which I think is pretty neat. Makes me think of text to columns in Excel actually. And there we go. There you have a table. So not as difficult as I always made it out to be. Still, I do prefer doing it in Excel first if I have a lot of formatting or if there's a way that I want to deal with the data inside of that table. I just prefer doing it in Excel first. But of course, you can insert the table straight in Word. You can create a new one. You can also convert text that's separated by either tabs or commas or spaces to tables as well. And to set what the table looks like is really easy. Once you're in the table, if you go to design, this is where you can choose all the different designs and also do shading in it and what the borders must look like. And of course, this is where you can merge and insert specific rows as well, or insert columns as well. Here you'll also see repeat header rows, which we use if the table goes across a page, so that on the second page you actually want to repeat the header rows onto the next page. So definitely not as difficult. Still very awkward for me to see tables in Word because I prefer them in Excel, but it definitely makes sense if you start looking at reporting and things to actually have the table in the document where you want to reference the data. So I hope that helps you, and we'll chat soon.